Welcome to the woolly world of Westknits. Let's take a little studio tour, and we have some tour guides with us today. This is Stitch, little Stitch, as she helps me wind my yarn, and she distracts me from finishing my projects. And we have Brioche. Brioche, are you gonna say hello? Oh, they're very good models, very good distractions, and they also inspired a lot of dog sweaters. So we'll be knitting them some more pet knits, expanding the Westknits world. So I want to start by showing off some yarn, some samples, what gets me inspired, and then we'll take a look around my studio to see how I store my yarns and my samples, a bit about my design process, and even how I wear some of my favorite shawls and sweaters. So I'm here in one of my favorite areas of the studio with all my yarn and West Wool. This is a big passion project of ours that we've developed all these beautiful West Wool colorways. They're all spun and dyed in Peru, and it's a really super soft merino. So this is how I start a lot of my projects, is by going to my West Wool wall and picking out lots of different color combinations. And then I use a lot of these new skeins for some of my contrast color shawls. And then I have lots of leftovers. And I'll show you later how I work with all my scrappy, stash-busting leftover shawls. So this is the West Wool solid color range. And I love using this yarn for shawls because it's really lightweight and has a really drapey quality to it. So this yarn is fingering weight, and it comes in these 50-gram skeins. So for shawls, I like using about a 3.5 millimeter, 3.75 millimeter, which is a US 4 or 5 needle. And you get shawls like this. This is the Slipstravaganza. So I go to my wall of colors, and I always try to play with a new kind of color palette. So I was really happy how this one turned out with this mustard gold and the chestnut and white peach neutral colors. And I always love a little color pop in my knits. So there's that unicorn lavender purple. I find that it's always amazing how colors blend and change depending on what you put them with. So when I'm picking out yarns, I always look at colors like they're ingredients. So when you're cooking, you're working with lots of ingredients and not gonna make just something with tomatoes or just something with pepper, but you're gonna mix them all together, and that's when the colors really come to life. So I was really amazed how that really bright pearlescent unicorn purple changed depending on what you put it with. So it became much more calm and subtle mixed with all those golden and neutral colors. So it's just a little spice. And whenever I'm working with colors, I always remember that it's not about that one color on its own, but it's how it interacts with all the other colors. So it's a good lesson to always experiment and don't cut any color out. I always say that I love every single color, but it just depends on what it's with, okay? Some colors I use more than others, like I love yellow, so whatever your favorite color is, you can never use too much of that color. So really embrace your favorite color, but don't discount all those other colors. If you don't knit a lot with green, or if you don't knit a lot with purple, then just try it as a little spice mixed with the other colors, and I guarantee you'll be surprised on how it morphs and transforms. Colors are like chameleons, and they always change depending on the relationship with the other colors that they're with.